Okay, okay. How's everyone doing this evening? All two of you who are watching me. Okay, enough jokes about myself. So today's stream idea is something I came up with literally less than 24 hours ago. I guess with the way YouTube algorithms are, I was shown videos of somebody learning to drive stick shift for the very first time. And I thought to myself, I remember when I learned how to drive stick shift or manual transmission, whatever you want to call it, back when I got my driver's license. I learned it on an old Toyota pickup truck from the 1990s that my dad owned. And I thought it'd be fun to kind of react to a few YouTube videos of people learning to drive stick shift. And if you're one of these people who knows how to drive stick shift, you know, you can kind of like laugh wholeheartedly with me as we watch these videos because we've all been there before. We've all done that. We've all made the same mistakes. We've all stalled on the very first try and even put it into the wrong gear. And you'll see all those mistakes in some of these videos. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. The first video I have pulled up is from a channel called Everyday Driver, which, you know, if you're a car enthusiast and you watch YouTube, you've heard of these guys. They've been around for a long time. So this is a 20-minute video. I don't think we're going to watch all 20 minutes of it because we've got, you know, 3 or 4 others to pick through, but I figured this is a good one to start. So let's go ahead and begin. And if I need to adjust the volume, please let me know.
When we got these cheap sports cars, we were trying to think of episodes to shoot with them. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking the only thing that matters is manual transmission. If you don't drive manual transmission, you can't possibly be a car person. And we realized that we had an opportunity to teach 2 young drivers to be able to do this. But it's also about our ability to teach these young drivers and how quickly can they pick it up.
Paul's joke is we may buy a clutch today. We hope we don't buy a clutch today.
If that's the case, that's okay.
Because they're kind of unbreakable and they don't really matter and they were cheap thanks to Auto Tempest. So let's do that. What could possibly go wrong?
You're watching Everyday Driver. We make a TV show, podcast,
and YouTube channels helping you find a car you'll love.
Joined us. You're barely driving. She's 15 and she is barely driving, and her dad wants her to learn manual transmission, so she's been thrown in the deep end with us in the cheap sports car Z4. Have you ever heard anything about manual before?
A little bit.
A little bit. All right, we're going to start at the base. I'm going to actually drive a little bit and show Sophie kind of the basics, show you the basics, and then we're going to have her drive, and that's when it gets fun.
This is Travis. He's 18. He's been driving for 2 years, so he knows how to steer and drive. His dad actually owns the first generation Mercedes SLK, so when it came to choosing cars, Travis opted for the SLK, and I'm glad you did. He's come all the way from Wisconsin, all the way to Utah, just to be able to do this.
It's a little bit interesting that they both chose convertibles of some sort. I can understand the BMW because that's a roadster, but yeah, that's kind of interesting.
And we're in the SLK starting out.
The big thing to think about is you have obviously a gas pedal and a clutch pedal. Until the clutch is fully out, the car is not.
and I've taught dozens of people how to drive stick shift. I know the position this guy is in. You're in the driver's seat first, kind of showing them around, and then you have to switch with your passenger, and then you're pretty much guiding them in a large parking lot like this. So she probably, I think, only has her learner's permit then. So it's I think it kind of illustrates this and the other guy. They kind of illustrate 2 separate philosophies on teaching people stick shift. Some people think it's better just to teach it right from the get-go at the same time that you're learning how to drive a car. Others think you have to learn to drive first and get all the basics down. Then you can layer everything about driving a stick shift on top. I think there are pros and cons to both approaches, but you know, we'll see how this goes.
Not fully in gear, no matter what's going on here. So I can put it into first with the clutch in, and we're not in gear. There's nothing happening right now to the car. I can rev it up. It doesn't go anywhere. because the clutch is all the way in. What I need to do is release the clutch until that gear fully catches. So what this is between the gas pedal and the clutch pedal, it's a balancing act.
It's a
The
seesaw.
standard
That's
thing that
right.
everybody screws up, everybody has trouble with, is releasing the clutch too quick and not having enough gas. You're just unweighting the scale. If I drop the clutch right now, I've killed the car because I didn't give it any gas at all.
We've all done
You will
that.
have that sensation many times today, and it's absolutely perfectly normal.
If you stall the car, that's perfectly okay. I just want you to know that there's no pressure here. If you stall it, who cares? And that's the biggest thing. When you're learning manual transmission, you want to find a car that you don't have to worry about. So think mechanically and think about feeling it. And I want you to be able to just blip the throttle, because many people think that it's an even,
Those are like the same pedal covers I had on my Civic.
one is connected to the other. This has to
It's like
come off as
aluminum
this is
with
going on as you're rolling onto
the
gas,
little
which is
dots.
not the case. They're independent.
Here's how things go wrong. A little bit of gas, but not enough. Pull the clutch. See that? It's fine.
Come on, don't give her
The other
whiplash.
extreme is way too much gas and a pop of the clutch, and this is how people spin tires. See that? That's the other end of the spectrum, okay? And plenty of people do that on purpose.
When you first sit here, I just want you to start to engage the clutch just a little bit,
On purpose.
just to feel where it
Yeah.
engages, and then you'll be able to add throttle there. I'll start one more time. The clutch engages about halfway off the floor here, and then the biggest thing to remember is when you do, there's a slight pause. You roll on and the clutch is engaged. You don't have to immediately let it all the way out. Just continue letting it all the way out and use your leg. It's not your heel on the floor.
Hey Gator,
Use your entire leg to do that.
from
The
that
perfect
particular
world is just
generation
this.
and model
We're
year,
sitting still, first gear.
probably not that rare, but increasingly uncommon. I don't know that Mercedes offers anything in manual anymore. And BMW, I think, is phasing them out too. So
On the gas, rev start coming up. Left foot starts releasing the clutch. Now right about here, you can probably feel it. I can feel it. There's the first beginnings of it catching. I haven't moved my feet since that happened. I've left them both even. We're already rolling out. So if I now keep my foot on the gas just the exact same and keep releasing the clutch, the RPMs drop, but we're moving enough. If I go slow enough, barely didn't kill the car. So it's just a balancing act. It's just, it really is, imagine standing on like a paddleboard, okay? It's both feet have got to be able to feel to keep that center balance of the car in motion. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
The best part about getting the car rolling is once you are, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, they're all easy because the car is already rolling. But
what the wait? That has 7 gears. What? I know C7 Corvette manuals have 7 forward gears, but I thought 6 was the standard. Even and 6 didn't really become standard until about 10-15 years ago.
for now, I just want you to stay in first gear and see what that feels like. And by the way, there are no silly questions.
You want to go ahead and try?
Sure.
Okay.
And now they'll switch.
Hit the gas for me. Just nothing else happening, just the gas. Watch the RPMs climb. Okay, now release the gas for me. You'll notice that it wants to idle just below 1,000 RPM, about 750 RPM. You see that? If it gets below that, the car is going to die. So you can use that gauge to help you know I need to give it more gas. It's also a lot about feel. Okay, so let's put the clutch in, put the car in first. There you go. Now, bring your RPM up. Not fast, just work your way up to about 2,000 RPM.
This is how I would teach my students is the first thing you got to do is let them feel where the clutch's bite point is. I don't think he's doing that. He's doing it in the reverse order. The other thing you can do is basically, the other thing about learning a manual transmission a lot of people don't get is throttle control. You can't rev it too high, but you can't rev it too low either. You want to get it up to, if you're when the clutch hits the bite point, you want to be at about like 1,200 to 1,500 RPM, because here's the thing: when the clutch and the transmission engage with each other, it's going to send the RPMs down because of the forces pushing against each other. And you want those RPMs up when those two meet, so that way they don't go all the way down below whatever the idle setting is, which I think he mentioned is 750 RPM. That's why you have to give it a little bit of gas, especially when you're starting from first gear.
You can go faster than that. Bring it up, bring it up. Now see if you can hold it about
Oh,
there.
a Porsche 911,
Now
yeah,
start
I can
releasing the
completely
clutch.
believe
Slowly,
that's 7
slowly releasing
speeds.
the clutch. And keep countering with the gas. You got it. You're doing great. Keep countering with the gas. You got it. That's great. You see, feel it catch? There you go. There you go. Keep going. You're doing great. You're doing great. All the way out. All the way out. Well done. Well done. Very, very well done. That was excellent. Really, really good.
I want to believe that was the first try. Maybe it was. I'm not going to like rob her of any credit though, but if it was the first try, that is really fucking awesome.
Good. Okay, now you're just driving. Who does first try, I ask you? Come on. That was
Most of my students did though, but I have that foolproof technique.
phenomenal. Well done. All right, put the clutch in, turn the corner. You have to have the clutch in to brake to a stop. So keep the clutch in, hit the brake now, brake to a stop. Honestly, Sophie, it's hard to do better than that on first try. That was really, really good.
Now, every try after that is going to be worse. I just have a feeling.
Awesome.
I'd be so proud of her too.
All right, so go to first gear. And first of all, just give me a few blips of the throttle so you give it a little bit of power. And so we're not, on this run, we're not going to let the clutch all the way out. I just want you to let it out a little bit as you blip the throttle and feel where it engages and push it back in. So go
Why
ahead
aren't
and do
they
that.
wearing seatbelts?
Just feel where it starts to engage. You almost got it already. I love it. See, you're already thinking clutch. Yeah. All right, so try that again. Give it a few blips. And just feel where that thing engages. More blips. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Perfect. Yeah, keep going. You've got it already. Okay, so once you actually are rolling, take your foot all the way off the clutch, because if you keep it on there, it's called riding the clutch, and it can actually, if it's pushed in just slightly, it'll cause some wear on the clutch, and you'll be spending your money sooner than you thought.
Now this time, here's the challenge. Do it without looking at that. Do it by feel.
Okay.
And you can do it by feel, because you're feeling how that's getting tight over there, right? The clutch, how it catches, simultaneously with being able to hear what the engine's doing, because you'll hear if it's choking and dying, and also the feel of the clutch. You can do it without ever looking at the RPM. There you go. See, it's harder by feel.
Yes.
But this is what you get to. You get to that cadence of just understanding, oh, that's where the clutch catches. And the other thing is, every car.
I think that's a Z4. It's the same color as my ND.
You're doing fine. You're doing
Almost.
fine. Just keep the RPM up. You're fine. You're fine. Get up to left hand on the wheel, right hand on the stick shift.
And another thing that I'll point out that I think as a beginner that, and this may be because she's learning to drive and she's learning stick shift at the same time, she's paying a little bit too much attention to her gauges rather than the road. You should only be like glancing at the gauges, and you should have a memory of like what the numbers are and where the needles are. So, but other than that, I mean, like that's pretty good.
Okay, you're going to come straight back, push the clutch in, come straight back. Yep. Keep the gas up, clutch out. Welcome to second gear. On the brakes. How's that feel? Whoop! And you killed the car. That's fine. And so you got to keep it on the clutch up.
You can kind of start to feel
Like
when
that
the
exhaust.
revs start to die a little bit and the car's starting to struggle. That's when you want to push the clutch in. Ideally a little bit before that, but some people push the clutch in well before they're coming to a stop. You don't really need to. And that's when downshifting and heel and towing come into play. And that's why I always say, give me a little blip, because in the future, when you're thinking.
So downshifting, heel toe, that's something you'll gradually learn if you decide to do it after you've mastered everything else about a manual transmission. Once you've been driving for a few months, then you start kind of like, if you experiment enough, you'll start picking up the tricks.
Heel and towing, you're going to want to blip that throttle to be able to match your revs, but we're not there yet. Maybe in a few more seconds. Okay, so this time we're going to start out rolling. We're in first gear, and I'll just have you upshift. All right, so give it some gas. Let's go. Clutch in, pull it back to second. Excellent. Let the clutch out. See, once you're rolling, it's no problem. Fantastic, man. Well done.
So here's how I'm going to complicate it.
Okay.
You're sitting at a stoplight. There's a car behind you.
Uh-oh.
They'll give you a few seconds, but they're not going to give you 10 seconds. So you're on the brake, you're on the clutch, you're sitting at the light. The light is red. In a second, I'm going to say green. Then I want you to start going. You're going to go straight.
I
look up,
do that.
you're
I've done
looking
this
into
with my
traffic, you're gonna go
students.
straight. You don't have to go instantly. Don't feel like you have to take off the line, but we need to go faster than we've been going because there's a car behind you. Make sense?
Yep.
All right, so we're sitting at the light. Green. He's gonna honk.
Oh no.
There you go. There you go. That's not bad.
I noticed that took
That's
like
not
5
bad at all.
seconds, so
Here in Los
eventually it's
Angeles,
going to
they
be
would've honked.
4,
Here in
3,
Park City, they
2.
probably wouldn't have honked yet. They would have wondered what was going on. Depends on where you are. You did very, very well.
In Los Angeles, they wouldn't have honked. They would have already shot her. Maybe. I don't know.
Go. All right. All right, clutch in. Perfect. First gear. Ready? Here we go. Give it some gas. Give it some gas. Hey.
It's stressful for you. How's
Burn
it
out
stressful
just a
for
little bit.
you?
All right.
Do you not
upshift
know how to
second,
drive
clutch
it?
in, pull back in a second, clutch out, and give it some gas. Excellent. Let's go ahead and get all the way around the corner here before we upshift to third. All right, give it some gas. Upshift to third. Excellent. Off the gas, foot on the brake, clutch in, down into second. I think you're in fourth. You might be in fourth, but that's all right. All of this comes with practice. You're getting it in 10 or 15
I've had
minutes
students.
with
I've had
years
students.
to think about it, so don't even sweat it.
I have had students do that. They accidentally reverse money shift. They go from first to fourth instead of first to second. That's a lot better than going from fifth, from third to fourth. I've had students go from third to second instead of third to fourth. Yeah, it's way worse. That's a money shift.
Clutch in, down into first. Balance with the gas. Get more gas in. Get more gas in. Whoop, easy.
What?
It's all about the balance. Because you start to get a feel for the clutch.
Why are no, I would not have done that. You don't shift into first when you're going like 10 or 15 miles an hour. In fact, you don't shift into first at all if the vehicle is moving, or with very rare exception. If you're going like 2-3 miles an hour, I can see that. But first is only for starting from a stop. If you have to shift into a low gear at low speeds, it's always second.
Clutch, but as you start to do it faster, the problem is you're not doing enough gas to counteract the faster move.
Oh, downshifting is stressful? Yeah.
Everything you're doing,
It's all about
everybody
rev
driving on the
matching, that's
transmission
all.
is still doing on a bad day. You never stop doing it completely. You just have bad days. I think we picked the right students. I can't believe actually this is going this well. I didn't do nearly this well when I started. I was so much more bucking in the car when I started. Sophie's doing phenomenally well. Travis is doing great.
I'm gonna chalk that up to modern manuals being a lot more forgiving than manuals from the 70s or 80s when these guys probably learned to drive manual. Even some of the 90s manuals as well.
We're going to challenge him more in a minute.
But Travis is learning so fast, and I like that he's got a lot of head knowledge, and now he's just feeling the mechanical interaction. Really, that's all it is. That's what we enthusiasts love so much. We're in charge of our cars. We're showing it who's boss. And I love that that is starting to come into play. I really love that he's feeling that right now.
All right, now we're going to actually put you through a course. I'm going to explain it. It's going to confuse you. That's okay. We're also going to drive it before we put you guys loose in it. So we're going to start down there where Bodie put up the start cones. You're going to get rolling out of first into second. You're going to come around this corner like you were just a minute ago. Come down this line. Where you see a line of cones there, that's your parking space. You're going to turn in and park. Then you're going to back out of that space. You're going to come back down this line and around the corner, and then this behind you is stop.
That is way too much to remember. I wouldn't overwhelm them with that.
Stop and go traffic. Come to a stop beside each cone. And we'll talk it through, but it's going to require a little bit of just easing onto the clutch, just letting the car roll a bit forward. As if you're in stop and go. Through each of those points, you get to the last one, then you go back to your parking space and you're done. I'll do one with you and then you're gonna have to do it by yourself, okay?
Yeah.
Get in a second.
She needs to learn not to give it too much gas.
Just hold it through second.
Maybe
Good.
let the clutch out a little
You
bit
don't have
faster.
to upshift to third. You can give it a little gas. You don't have to upshift to third. Foot on the brake, and you're turning left. Clutch is in, and make sure you come to a complete stop.
Brake, 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 brake. That's okay. Clutch, clutch. There you go. Now you need to get in reverse. There you go. You got cones behind you here, so be careful.
When a mistake is a source of advertising
All right,
content.
that's fine. We'll fix them.
Oh, oh,
Brake.
come
There you go.
on.
Into first. You're doing fine. Into first. Head back out the way you were.
No jokes about supermarket parking lots here.
That's what the cones are for. That's what they're for.
Okay.
They're made to be destroyed. That's their entire purpose in life.
And then we'll just practice our stop and go through here. First gear, so all of these are first gear, and just slowly let it roll. So this is just a interaction of practice, okay? Foot on the brake, just let it roll a little bit, again.
It's boring traffic. That's what we're doing. Stop and go. Excellent. Now we're going to go park in that space. You got it. You got it.
Okay,
So make the
she's
turn,
learning.
Then clutch and brake in a straight line. Clutch,
She's more confident in lifting
brake.
off the clutch.
pull into the space. You did it.
Now, do you feel comfortable doing the course yourself?
Sure.
Okay, well, I will leave you to it.
Now keep in mind, Sophie doesn't have a license yet. In fact, this is her first time driving a car completely by herself. Great job. Crank it hard right, crank it hard right. There you go. Didn't hit cones this time, but she's rolling. Get yourself stopped. There you go. You got it, you got it. Well done.
It's clear Travis has been driving for a couple of years, so he's confident and faster through the course. But there's still a lot to think about. Todd stands where the first cone blew away, but Travis skips it. And he's struggling with the smooth starts.
He's going too fast. He's trying to do his movements too fast. He's
I love that
overconfident.
both our students are getting this, and I feel like I'm imparting some sort of next generation knowledge. It feels good to contribute in that way. And these are skills that both these kids are going to take with them forever.
Thank you.
Yeah, we hope.
How'd you feel about that?
Good. I have everything down except the starting.
Oh, it's rolling.
They don't know this, but Travis and Sophie,
Everybody has done that. It's like, oh my God, I forgot to put the parking brake up. I thought I was in a level surface. You should always do that anyway. Oh, that's why I like mechanical parking brakes too. I don't like all this like push button parking brake. Even manual transmissions have that now. Why? Like I saw that like one of my friends has an HRV and it's got that little like button or whatever to push as a parking brake, and it's a manual. That's from the last model year you could get a manual transmission HRV, but whatever. FK8 Civics and FL5 Civics are like that. There's no excuse. Just all right, I'll get off my soapbox.
were actually timed by Todd and I. They both accomplished it very differently. They both have different styles, and that's the biggest thing. Once you learn, you make it your own.
Every single car you get in, every single clutch you deal with is a little bit different. And so while they kind of got the idea of the prior car, we thought we had to throw them in the other one. We'll just figure out, hang on, it's the same course, it should work the same, but it's a little bit different. You got it, you got it. Get up into second. Great job. Lock out for reverse. Keep going. Get the revs up. Turn it hard right, hard right. You got it now. Still rolling.
Oh,
It's
oh
all right.
shit.
Clutch in, start it up. You got it. You got it, good job. You got thrown in the deep end there, Sophie, well done. Well done.
Oh, this one heated seats.
Yes, this has heated seats. Thanks for the reminder. And whenever you're ready.
It's like nails on a chalkboard when you have those like herky-jerky starts.
You and I lucked out by picking the best students. Honestly.
They were.
How well did Travis and Sophie do? They should not have done, I mean, you guys did
Congrats
great.
to you both.
You should not have done that well first day. Seriously.
I was not this good when I was learning. Of course, I learned from my dad, and I love my dad. Learn from somebody else other than a family member. That is the takeaway here.
Well, actually, we have to give thank yous to the fathers that are off camera that brought their children today and said, you teach them. So that actually, I'm telling you, that's the way to do it. You should not be taught by a family member. That is a bad idea. You guys did great. You did phenomenal. We did do one surprise we didn't tell you about.
yeah.
We timed you and counted the number of times you stalled the cars when you were doing the course.
Not bad though.
If you haven't learned how to drive manual and you are a car enthusiast, I highly recommend it. The hard part is there's not a lot of cars around anymore. And do you have somebody that has a car? And do you have somebody that has a really cheap sports car you can kill?
I was talking.
That's the problem now. Like unless you know somebody, you basically have to sign up for a course somewhere. But it's not that difficult and not that expensive to learn stick shift. There's lots of schools around where they can teach you in an hour or two for only maybe a couple $100. So I'd just look into that if I were you. Google's your friend in that case.
Talking to the fathers off camera, and I said, now you're going to be looking for German sports cars. I said, at least we didn't bring a Porsche. You're welcome.
Is that a thank you? A thank you to Auto Tempest and to Power Stop for making these cars as awesome as they are. A thank you to you guys for joining us, and we hope you learn manual.
Huge applause to Sophie and Travis for learning on camera. And tell us in the comments who you think was the better teacher.
I think the students were about the same, to be honest, but I think he was the better teacher. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. This ought to be fun. Center this just a little bit more. Okay, this is a very short video. It's from BuzzFeed video. All it's gonna do is show mistakes. So this is more for like entertainment value. So let's just watch this real quick. It's only a 3 minutes long. From like best to almost worst. that's kind of I don't know what to say. All right, next video. What do we have here? Okay. Teaching my sister how to drive a manual car from It's Just a 6. I think he's referring to, I don't watch this channel, but I'm assuming that's referring to that C6 that he has in the background there. And that he's going to teach his sister how to drive that C6, which I assume is a manual. So this is only 10 minutes long, so let's see.
Asking to teach her how to drive stick shift, and finally I feel like the day has come where she's responsible enough to get behind the wheel of a supercharged stick-shift 6-speed Mustang. So I'm thinking for our first excursion,
If you're first, I do not recommend your first stick shift experience and learning be on a car like this with a V8 and everything that comes with it, supercharged to. I don't know.
this is like actually perfect. Okay, so you know how to operate a normal motor vehicle. Like you can steer it, you're not gonna hit anything in the parking lot. So. Now you come and sit in here first,
Oh.
and I'm gonna show you around this rig, show you how it works.
I don't know that I'd recommend that car either. Unless it's like maybe an EcoBoost or something.
Actually easy. So shake it left and right. That's how you know whenever it's neutral. You see this pattern at the top?
Yeah.
That's first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, and then all the way over and back is reverse. But in the
There's another thing I'm gonna point out. In a lot of these higher performance cars, the gear shift right here, the shifter is in the transmission is very stiff compared to something with only like 4 cylinders like a Civic or a Miata. That's another reason why I don't recommend learning on a car like this. Once you've mastered manual, then drive a car like this. This is going to be stiff. I bet the clutch feels extremely heavy too. I've test driven manual Mustangs, and that's been my experience.
center right here is neutral. So now push that clutch all the way down and just get used to the feeling of your foot going up and down. Try and do it slow. Whenever you slip the clutch out, you want to be like really, really gentle on the outward. You can push it in
Can't
fast,
just let it
but
pop out. Okay.
yeah, because whenever you let it pop out, that's how you stall. So now push the clutch all the way in, and now hold it in, because whenever you put it in the gear, as soon as you let it back out, it's going to want to go all the way over to the left. Yep, and then up. There you go.
And then let
And
off.
just slip it halfway and then hold it halfway. You hold it right there. There you go. Yeah. Like, okay.
She's. Did you notice her eyes? She's as surprised as I was.
Put the clutch in and put it back into neutral. So it's in first gear right now. So you'll have to pull it back into the center.
Put it in the middle.
Okay, so push the clutch in. Okay, now brake. And now keep the clutch pushed in. Yep. And now just put it in the center. And then shake it side to side so you know. And now you can sit still.
He should have let you drive it as a kid, Gator. That would have been hilarious.
You have to like set the e-brake for it to stop. Yeah, you probably do, but it's probably just not necessary because yours is auto. So now clutch in all the way to the floor, and now just push it over into first, and then just slowly set it halfway and just hold it right there and give it a little bit of gas while you hold it. Yep, and then you can slip it all the way. Are you sure you haven't driven a manual before?
Well,
Really?
I'm gonna say that, then I'm gonna mess up.
No,
car's
I'm
gonna
actually
blow up.
genuinely impressed. And now give it a little bit of gas. And now shift
Some
it.
people do get it right off the bat.
Push the clutch in, pull it down to second, and now let the clutch back out slowly while you give it gas. You see how you let it out a little fast, so it
Yeah.
just jerked? But if you let it out and slip it slow, then it'll gradually
It'll be
apply the clutch. Yep.
Tell me what all the gears do. What?
It's just-
There's so many.
So each gear is a higher mile an hour. So first gear will only take you up to like, let's say 15 miles an hour. And then you would need to shift because your RPMs over here get so
Yeah.
high that you would want to shift and then put it into the higher gear to start climbing more miles an hour. You're actually really getting the hang of it very fast. I'm really impressed. So try clutch in again, and then you can put it back into first and pretend like we're leaving a stop sign or something, or the light just turned green. You slow it halfway. Give it a little bit of gas. As long as you hold it halfway and give it a little bit of gas right there, you'll get to where you can get it very smooth.
Okay. It's a little bit jerky at first.
Yeah, it's just because you're learning. But most people can't even get the car to move. I was one of those people.
I think it's just because right now I'm calm. I think if I ever got on a road and tried to drive,
Oh, I was about to say that we should.
I mean, yeah, we can.
Okay, so if you're clear both ways, you can slip it out and give it a little bit of gas again and just take off to the right. Okay, now stay in the same gear, but go slow. Now watch the RPM. You see up here? See how it keeps climbing?
Yeah.
You hear how it's getting louder and louder as you keep climbing? So basically it's revving the engine higher. So now you would shift up to a higher gear to go a higher speed. Pull it down hard. Yep, there you go. Now you're in second. Nope. There you go. And now clutch in. And now brake. And then put it in neutral. You're getting it.
That was so scary.
Nah, you're killing it. Yeah, give it a little bit of gas.
Oh, there's a car behind her too.
Like actually perfect. Very nice. Now clutch in and put it in second. Now pull it down hard. Don't get the gas. Let off the gas. Now pull it down hard. Now slowly give it a little bit of gas while you let the clutch off. Perfect. Nailed it. Like actually
Second
nailed it.
gear.
Yeah, you're in second gear. Now if you want to try it again, you can go to third. So you go up to the middle and straight up. So clutch in, let off the gas, and now push it straight up to the middle. Yep, straight up. And there you go. Now let the clutch out and give it a little bit of gas. Now we're moving. So you'll get to where you speed that process up.
I was nervous just watching this. I was afraid she's gonna money shift up into first.
Lower RPM is quiet,
Not gonna lie.
but we're at a much higher speed.
Yeah.
It's because you're in a higher
If she had done that, they would have lost control of the car and ran into a tree.
This is, I mean, this is fun, but I feel like at first, every time I drove by myself, I'd be so scared.
Yeah. That's why you drive with somebody until you get used to it.
Did you drive with somebody until you got used to it?
No.
Yeah.
You don't have to do nothing crazy, but give it a little bit of gas. And then whenever you get done, just you can put it in neutral or just let off the gas. Give it some gas so you can fill. Hit it. Hit it. Nice job, nice job. You actually did way better than I expected.
So this is another thing that I teach my students and I recommend they don't do. While you're accelerating, unless you are actually going to shift the gear, don't keep your hand on the gear shift. Because what that does is it puts pressure against like the bushings and the synchros and everything. It just makes things wear faster.
Yeah, you do it much smoother.
This car has aftermarket. It's a Celine, so it's like it's a custom rare package, I guess, of Mustang. And this one comes with the supercharger, the wider wheels, and like the suspension and all that. So that's why it feels so planted like that.
I'm gonna get me one of these. So what do you do when you do like how do you get out of a stall?
You just put it back in neutral, and then push the clutch down and start the car again.
You have to start the car again?
Yeah. You know, one time I was at, you know who Cletus McFarlane is, that big YouTuber?
Yeah.
Okay. I was at his event in my black car, and it was a manual. I stalled in front of like 3,000 to 4,000 people holding their cameras, filming me on the line, getting ready to leave to race.
I think I remember that.
That shit
You were like
was
inconsolable
so
after.
embarrassing.
You were like, don't even talk to me.
You want to try again? Are you done?
Try again. Yeah.
I love that you're the one that actually wants to come back and drive more. That's so cool. I can't even lie. She is doing so amazing for her first time ever being in a freaking stick shift. I don't understand it. You're better than I was at your age. It's aggravating.
Okay.
So, put on the brake and then
On the
pull the
brake.
e-brake down.
Oh, press the brake in
Yeah.
and the clutch.
No, you don't have to yet, but just pull the e-brake down. So pull it up towards you.
Pull it up towards me.
You gotta buff them arms a little
You
bit.
said pull it up towards me.
Yeah, and press the button. No, let me see. No.
Put it in first gear.
Yep. As soon as you start spinning the clutch, it's gonna start moving. So just give it a little bit of gas.
A little bit. A little bit. Come on.
And we're moving.
Yep. catch the rest so easy.
I wonder if to other people it's obvious that I'm learning to drive a manual, just going in circles
Yeah,
in a
probably.
parking lot.
They probably know what's going on.
We're not moving. Oh,
There you go.
turns out I
Okay.
wasn't with my clutch foot. Is every car different, or are they all like that?
Yep, every car is very different. That's what I was about to say. You can get in one car and think you know how to drive perfectly, and then go get in another car, and it's just like, oh my god, I don't even think I know how to drive a manual.
What's a hard car to drive manual?
My GT350,
What makes it harder?
the different clutches. So the clutch pedal is adjusting a clutch inside of the transmission that basically grabs onto the flywheel, which is hooked up to the engine.
Yeah.
And so when you slip your foot out, that rotating mass is grabbing on as you slip it out. When you push it in, it takes. I like how you're not even practicing the fundamentals. You're just.
You were supposed to be telling me.
Oh, I didn't know I had to like drill instruct you. I was just letting you. I was letting you learn.
I'll do this all night. Now we'll do some more faster circles.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Now I'm gonna learn how to.
It's gonna drift. Drift. Yeah.
That was her first thing whenever she came here. She said, while I'm here, I think that's the funniest part. While I'm here, can you teach me how to drift? I'm like, you don't know how to drive a manual car, but you want to drift first. So now she just wants to escalate from, oh, we're doing circles in the parking lot. Let's just make it faster circles and drift.
Snowy people.
All right, I'll shift a second. Watch the car. All right, now let it out. I'll give it gas. There you go. See? You're getting it. Yeah. Okay, go to the left. Into the driveway.
I'm scared. Do you want to do it?
Yeah,
I'm so
well,
scared.
it's okay. I definitely will. You know, I gotta say, you did pretty good. I would give it an A+ for sure. If A++ was a thing, I would give it an A++.
You know what? Give it to me anyways.
Oh, A++ anyways. With that being said, thank you so much for watching.
All right. All right. Last video is from none other than Jubal in Cars. No, it's not. I didn't have his video pulled up. I do actually, but this is the second to last video. My mistake. This guy's driving a Miata though, so this isn't so much like somebody learning how to drive a car, but he's giving you tips on how to do this. So let's see what he has to say.
It's a Mazda Miata. It is one of my favorite cars. No, it is my favorite car.
Yeah,
and
mine
a
too.
big reason for that is the 6-speed
Hold on.
transmission sitting between the driver and passenger seats. It is
ND3.
so sweet, and learning.
You can't get that color anymore, by the way. They only offered in 23 and 24. This being an ND3 means this is a 2024 model year. Zircon Sand is what it's called.
How to drive a manual, it's all worth it, even if it just means you can drive a car like this. Driving a manual makes you a more connected, more engaged, and I'd say a better driver. So if you don't know how to drive a stick shift, but you've always wanted to learn, keep watching the video. I'll go through things step by step, and by the time we're done, you're gonna be flying through the gears. Now that the car has magically moved to a more shady location, let's start at the top. How do you turn it on? Well, first,
Oh, yes.
you put your seatbelt on.
This is something that I don't know how many other countries do it, but it is practically unique to the United States. You have to push the clutch in to start a manual transmission vehicle. There is a way to disable that though, and in other markets it's not required, but in the US, yeah, you got to push the clutch pedal in to start the car.
So you've got the emergency brake engaged. Now, a lot of drivers like to start their car in first gear, but there's actually a benefit to keeping it in neutral, especially if you're not going to drive off immediately. Now, put your left foot on the clutch pedal and press it down. Your right foot should stay on the brake. With both feet on both pedals, you can press the button or turn the key and turn on the car. Now, because you're in neutral, you can take that left foot off the clutch. If you're in first gear, you take your left foot off the clutch without stepping on the gas, you'll stall. Now this is a modern car. Most modern cars won't actually even let you start them unless that clutch is in. But so here we are. I've got the car back on, both feet are on the pedals. I'm in neutral, and because I'm in neutral, I have the emergency brake engaged as well. With the brake on, car in neutral.
The parking brake, that e-brake is really important in a manual.
And relax. But that's enough relaxing. We've got the car on. Let's get moving. Put your left foot back over the clutch, and your right foot can press down that brake pedal. When you have the brake pressed, you can release the emergency brake. We're not going to go anywhere. With your left foot now, take the clutch, put it all the way to the floor. You can move it into first in almost every car that's going to be towards you and forward. Now here's where the fun starts. Take your right foot and move it from the brake to the accelerator. Gently add pressure while taking your foot off the clutch, and you're going. Let your engine RPMs climb slowly until you feel the clutch engaging, keeping it right.
That can't be the car he's driving, because that looked like it was a club, but it has traffic sign recognition. That's not a club feature. That's a Grand Touring feature.
Right at that bite point, while you apply more throttle, once you feel engaged, release the clutch fully. And just like that, you're driving. It takes some practice to get the feel of the clutch, so don't be too worried if it's a little bumpy at first. As you gain speed, you're gonna need to shift to higher gears. Here's how to do it smoothly. Watch the tachometer or listen to the engine. When it gets loud or when the tachometer needle starts rising quickly, that means it's time to shift. From here, it's a lot like getting the car moving, but it's actually easier because you've already got some momentum. So, take my foot off the gas, put in the clutch, second gear. As your speed increases, your RPMs will rise. As you get over 3,000 or 4,000 RPMs on the tachometer, just repeat the process and shift smoothly into those higher gears. Now let's talk about downshifting, which is key to maintaining control as you decelerate. As the engine
Okay, this is
slows,
interesting.
The revs will drop. When they get close to idle, press the clutch and drop to a lower gear. Consider this the 200 level course that comes after How to Drive a Manual 101. To properly downshift, you need to have your clutch in, drop the gear, and then before you have the clutch all the way out, just blip the throttle or step on the throttle just a little bit to bring those RPMs up. Think about it, when you're upshifting, you're doing it when the RPMs are elevated. So when you're downshifting smoothly, you need the RPMs to be where they would be at the top end of that lower gear. So just give it a little blip, and there you go. And that's the key to a proper downshift. Downshifting takes a little more coordination than upshifting, but once you get the hang of it, it will make you a much smoother driver. Getting going when you're stopped on a hill can be tricky, but there's a simple technique that will help you master it. If you have an emergency brake like this one,
Oh,
press
that
the button with your thumb,
this
you
is
can bring it
cheating.
up and down smoothly.
Hill
Then
starts.
with your foot on the clutch, left foot on the clutch, right foot take off the brake with the emergency brake up. Add a little bit of gas as you slowly remove the clutch, and then you'll feel it bite. And when you feel that, the car might settle a little bit on its rear wheels. You drop the emergency brake, and you're on your way to a clean takeoff. Get it right, and the car will move smoothly uphill without rolling backwards. With practice, you will be doing hill starts with confidence in no time. Just like
Okay, so this is something that annoys me though. And maybe it's because I'm old school. or it's the car I learned on, but cars that have hill assist, like the Indy Miata has hill assist, what it will do is when you're on a hill and they'll detect that you're inclined, the brake will hold for a couple of seconds and then it'll start rolling back, and that always throws me off because I'm used to actually like not having hill assist and being so precise with where the clutch pedal bite point is and when I need to give it gas that I roll back, if I roll back at all on a hill, only a couple of inches at the most. But having that hill assist does throw me off a little bit.
Like climbing in or getting out of a car like the Miata, driving a stick shift can seem a little daunting at first, but with practice, maybe a little stretching, it does get easier. Keep working on those smooth gear shifts and keep working on your clutch control, and before you know it, driving a stick shift is going to feel like no big deal. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hop down into our comment section. We have all the...
All right, now we'll go to Jubal. I think he's teaching his girlfriend how to drive stick. This was published yesterday, so...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Jubal and Cars. Today, I, Kevin's girlfriend, will be showing you guys how to...
AKA Winky Potter, Winky Maximus. So, my girlfriend watched my first video on how to drive stick shift. If you guys haven't seen that, watch that below. She's the only person I've ever seen that I've taught stick who took notes. So the bar is pretty high. Why don't you get in? I have a fixed seat, which is why we have pillows. Hopefully in the car that you're learning how to drive stick, you can actually adjust it, because this is going to make it a little bit more challenging. Let's get you situated here.
Yep, my custom seat.
Uh,
Okay, I need you to fix my pillows because it's so cramped. Can you move this?
First of all, I want to assure you that if you stall, not a big deal. I'm just going to call you Joseph Stalin and other nicknames.
Thanks.
that's mean.
Process of learning how to drive stick. There's no shame in that.
Alright, so first.
Seriously though, she took notes.
Yeah, especially when my girlfriend's driving. Definitely safety first. Just buckle up.
That's kind of funny.
So what you want to do first, my cheat sheet. So you want to step on clutch all the way, brake, and put your e-brake down, and start.
Yeah, you can do that before or after. Doesn't really matter.
Okay.
But are you in neutral right now?
I am in neutral because it's a wiggly.
Good. And then let's clutch out. Because we only want to be on the clutch when we need to.
Oh.
So the time you're on the clutch is number 1 when you're starting the car. And what's number 2?
When you're upshifting.
Upshifting or downshifting, which just means anytime you're moving this gear shift, you're clutching it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Okay.
Are you familiar with all 3 pedals? We have clutch on the left, brake in the middle, throttle on the right. Okay, cool. So why don't we, the first step is just starting from a stop. I do not want you to worry about the throttle right now.
Okay.
Ignore that even exists. What we're going to do is get into first, and then slowly let up the clutch only. Okay?
Okay.
So walk me through those steps. I guess you have some some notes here.
So we got that part done. So now we're gonna...
That's way too many notes.
Right.
That's way too much shit to remember.
First, actually go through the gears just to make sure you're comfortable. So
here is the 8, what's it called?
Got my little sippy cup.
yeah, so
So we have,
if you move this, what are you gonna do first?
I have to
Clutch in.
clutch in because I can let go of the brake, right? Or so you sometimes can I just
Keep the brake on.
clutch in. So this is neutral. You know it's neutral because it's
Is it really that cold where they are? Look, their seat warmers are on the second highest level.
here.
Yep, left and up.
Yep. The second gear is just straight down. Right. Third gear, so you kind of go in the middle and then straight up.
Yep. You let that centering, bring it back to center. Good.
Yep. Fourth is straight down in the
Good.
middle. Fifth is, oh no, that's a fourth. Sorry, I keep doing that. Fourth.
I teach all my students this stuff at the very beginning, or have.
Fifth. It's over there. Top right. Sixth.
There you go.
Okay.
So a good practice. So I'm doing this with my left hand. You can mirror this with your right hand, right?
Can I let go
Just a
clutch
mirror
now?
image. Nope, because I'm going to move the,
Oh.
the gear shift. So you generally want to be gentle with this. You don't want to be like ham fisting and forcing it in either direction. So you want to, you know, generally have like use your fingers and have them bent, and that way you're gonna gently guide it into each of these gates rather than really like holding it like this. So you have a little bit of like there's a little bit of like a gentle. You're suggesting that the gear go there. You're not yelling at it and pushing it there.
No, I guess I was yelling at it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, is that 5?
Yeah, good.
5, 6.
Good. Neutral, clutch out.
Clutch out.
Clutch out. Whenever you're in neutral, you can clutch out.
Okay. That's the only time.
Only time to what?
When I can clutch out.
Well, also if you're in gear moving.
Oh yeah.
Most of the time your foot's not on the clutch. What are the 2 times your foot needs to be on the clutch?
When I'm shifting gears.
Anytime you're moving this. And the other time is when you first start the car, right?
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 times you need to be on the clutch.
Okay.
Other than that, your foot does not need to be on the clutch. Like we talk about bad habits in that video, right? What's one of the bad habits that people have at a stoplight?
I don't remember because I'm a bad listener.
I just realized I probably had the volume really low on the other videos. I'm so sorry.
One of the issues is that people will have this in first and they'll be on the clutch.
Oh.
But you don't want to do that. You want to be in neutral with your foot off the clutch instead.
Okay.
So that was in the bad habit section of that video, which is not really what we need to focus on right now. Let's just focus on getting started.
Okay.
So to get started, what are we going to do?
We are going to be in neutral. We're going to clutch all the way because we already have a foot on the brake, right?
Okay.
So we're going to go into first gear. Ready? Let go of the brake. Gently, slowly let go of the clutch. Until it bites. And then you let go completely.
There you go. And now I want you to get to control stop and reset. How do you do that?
So you clutch all the way, you brake, right? And then you go to neutral, clutch off.
Oh, amazing. Let's do that another 3 times.
Okay, so that, there.
Yep, nice and gentle. You're getting a feeling for that point where it starts biting, right?
Yeah. I get kind of nervous letting go of the clutch because I feel like...
That's okay.
I don't know.
Let's reset. Amazing. So there's a speed bump. We're going to go around the speed bump. And let's do that 1 or 2 more times, and then we're going to add throttle.
Okay, so same thing. Do I get nervous letting go of the clutch because I feel like I'm going to let go too fast?
Well, let's do a stall. Let's stall it just so that you aren't
No,
so afraid
I don't want
to
to stall it. Remember that one time I stalled it when I was doing your sim rig?
The sim is a lot harder because there's no actual feedback from a clutch and no
I feel
actual
like...
G-forces.
Oh, I think I stepped on throttle.
That's okay. Let's bring it to a controlled stop.
No, I feel like...
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. No throttle yet. You're only focusing on 2 pedals. We're going to add throttle in just a minute, okay?
Yeah.
So, stalling is not a huge deal. I actually prefer you stall rather than burn my clutch. So, what is burning the clutch? Burning the clutch is...
100%, 100%.
Okay.
Foot off the clutch, that's fine.
Yeah.
Rev the engine.
Step on throttle?
Just rev it, yeah. Give it some more revs. Hold it higher, higher, higher. So if you held the car here and then let go of the clutch, you'd be putting a lot of wear and tear.
Okay.
Now when I have taken my old car to the shop way back in the day, the guy there, guys, they hate stalling. They get very embarrassed. It's their ego. So they overcompensate. They over-rev the engine and then let go of the clutch, and that burns out the clutch. I don't want that. That's really bad for the car.
Okay.
But then if you let go of the
Very,
clutch...
very true.
Let me clutch in.
Clutch in. Do I need to go brake? Just clutch?
Clutch in.
Okay.
First, put your foot on the brake. Hold the brake. And I'll just clutch out fast.
Ah!
It's a stall. Not a big deal.
Why didn't you tell me?
I prefer you do that rather than burning my clutch. Okay? So there's a little bit of a balance here that we're going to get to in terms of
It's a seesaw.
you apply so that you don't over rev the engine because that wears out the clutch, even though it protects that guy's ego so that he doesn't stall. But then it wears out the clutch faster.
Okay.
On the other side, we may get into some engine lugging, which is when the engine revs are too low and you ask too much of the engine and it starts doing this like
choppy thingy.
Choppy thing. That's also not good for the car. So we're gonna try to find the sweet spot.
Okay.
Let's start the car again. So when you stall,
yeah.
What do you do next?
You have to start the car.
Good. You went into neutral. Clutch out. because you're in neutral.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, that's right.
Good.
So now I have to go into first gear.
Yep.
I have to clutch first.
Anytime you touch this and move it, you have to.
Yeah, right, clutch first.
That's
right.
right.
First gear,
Choppy thing.
brake,
It's also like the car.
slowly let go. Okay, I think I'm getting more comfortable with this. Now I can let go completely. Okay, now what?
Let's bring it to control stop.
Okay, so clutch, brake,
Neutral.
neutral,
Clutch
clutch
out.
out.
So you only want to clutch out at a stop after you've gone to neutral. Sometimes people will clutch out while they're in first and then boom, stall, right?
Oh,
So now let's actually try adding some throttle.
okay.
So same thing as before.
Clutch, first, brake, slowly let go.
Let go of the clutch fully. Now add some throttle.
Ooh,
Good. Control
easy
stop.
money. Ooh,
Good job, Winky.
okay. Now,
Reset.
neutral, boom.
This is the reset position. Foot off the clutch, this in neutral,
Okay,
and foot on the brake.
easy peasy.
So let's do this again, and we're going to try to get into second gear this time. So to get into second gear, you have to carry enough speed.
I need to look in the paper again. Clutch in, let go throttle. Wait, I let go throttle first and then I clutch in, right?
Yeah, so you don't want to be on the clutch
Simultaneously.
and throttle at the same time.
Okay. Because that will also stall. What
No,
happens
you,
if...
you can only stall if you're close to stopping the car. If you got on the throttle
Yeah.
and you were on the clutch at the same time,
Mhm.
then the revs would start going up.
Oh, you burn your clutch.
Well, yeah, that's also gonna increase wear and tear on the clutch. So a good best practice is that when you're accelerating,
Yeah.
you never touch the throttle while you're touching the clutch. We're gonna get to the edge case of blipping the throttle when you downshift, but right now we're upshifting. Upshifting means you go from first to second to third, you go up, right? In terms of the gear count. When you're going sixth to fifth to fourth, that's downshifting. Then you have to just briefly jab the throttle, but that's coming later.
Okay.
So let's first try to get into second this time.
Okay.
So we're gonna.
So same thing, right?
Uh huh.
Ooh.
Give it some gas.
Okay.
Good.
And then
Good. A bit more.
more? But there's a bump.
We're gonna go around it. Why don't we get around it first? Let's do that.
Oop.
Bring it back.
Okay.
Okay. Now
Yeah.
clutch in, second, and off the throttle.
Clutch in, second, same time, right?
Uh huh.
Off throttle, second gear.
Clutch out,
Clutch out,
throttle.
throttle. Easy.
There you go. Second gear. Let's go. Let's get past these cars because we don't know if someone's gonna pop out like that guy just did in the Subaru.
Okay. That's a Subaru?
Yeah, it's a WRX.
Oh.
And now let's bring it to a stop here, controlled. And let's reset. So good job clutching in, getting on the brakes, get it into neutral, clutch out. Boom. All right.
Mhm.
We'll do the same thing.
Okay.
We're going to turn around right before the stop sign.
Okay, ready?
Let's go.
Clutch.
Give some gas.
At the same time?
So what we're going to start doing now is that as you let go of the clutch, you're also going to give a little bit of gas. There's a little bit of overlap.
So when the car starts moving?
Yeah. So did you feel that time there was a little bit of like that shuddering, very
Yeah,
subtly?
yeah.
The engine was ever so slightly lugging.
So you know how you were talking about... Okay, never mind. Okay, now I turn around?
Yep.
Can I go that way?
Let's just.
Because I don't know how to reverse yet.
We can try reversing. You want to do that?
Um,
You want to go straight?
Let
Or
me
just
turn
run
this
through this. Run through the stop sign. That's alright too.
oh.
Doesn't
Well, I
matter.
don't know how to reverse.
That's okay. Now let's bring it. Let's go between these two planters.
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay, no cars.
All right. Let's bring it to a stop.
Whoa, why does it do that though? When I step on clutch. Am I stepping on it too fast?
So well, your engine was trying to go forward, and then when you're going in and out on the clutch, it's now disconnecting and reconnecting the engine. So if you're a little bit choppy at the beginning, don't
Yeah.
worry about it. You don't have to be super smooth. That comes with time.
Okay.
It takes a long time to get very smooth with everything. So,
Yes.
speaking of which, that's Zygreen right now. I wonder what he has to say. Probably wishing me luck and asking me to please be safe when my girlfriend's driving. Okay, so let's do it again. Let's try to get into second gear one more time.
So that's two
Clutch in.
California car tubers just taking pot shots at each other.
So when I can put stuff on throttle now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a little better. It's not as luggy.
Yep. So your foot is totally off the clutch, right?
Yeah.
Good. And you can actually rest it on the dead pedal, which is just the
this thing right
that
here?
thing on the left.
Oh,
We call it
okay.
the dead pedal, so you don't have to hold your foot like that.
Okay.
Now let's get into second.
So let go throttle.
Let go throttle, clutch in,
Clutch.
pull to second, clutch out, back on throttle.
Wow.
Good
Okay.
job. All right.
Okay.
Now let's go around the speed bump. Bring it to a controlled stop. Clutch in, brake, neutral. Neutral, clutch out. Okay.
Okay.
So going back to that example, what happens is if you over rev the engine, then let go of the clutch, you burn the clutch. We want to avoid that at all costs. That's the worst mistake.
Mm-hmm.
The second mistake is lugging or stalling. That's not as bad as burning through your clutch. So lugging is what's happening slightly, which is that since we're not giving any throttle at all,
Yeah.
and we're slowly letting go of the clutch, the engine is, at times, if we're letting go a bit quick, the engine is being asked to give more than it can at such a low RPM. So in this case, what we want to do is give it a little bit of throttle. Not too much to over rev it, but this is what you're going to do in the real world. Because at a green light, if you accelerated this slow, people would be honking at you.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do now is make sure that we're finding that good balance point where we're not lugging the car, but we're also not over revving.
Okay.
So let's try that again.
Oh.
We're going to do a bit more throttle at the beginning, and then we'll also shift into second like we've been. Give it a little bit of throttle.
Right now?
Yeah, we're still lugging a little bit right there. See?
Oh, yeah.
Felt a little vibration?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into second. Clutch in, pull to second, clutch out.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Throttle.
Yeah, give it some throttle. Good. Let's get to the right here and stop and reset. Good. Reset, clutch out, boom. Let's do it one more time. Now, when you're letting go of the clutch, when
Yeah.
you know when the car starts to just ever so slightly move?
Yeah.
That's when you add a little bit of throttle.
Okay.
And you're going to start getting the feel. There's a little bit of a rhythm. It's like a musical instrument where you don't, there's not a binary on, off, yes, no. It's like a little bit of a give and take. Okay?
Okay. Try again?
Try again.
Okay. Ooh.
See that lugged. That's okay. Let's start it
Yeah.
again. Let's reset.
So what do I do? Step on brake?
Yep. Clutch in. Clutch in. Clutch in. There
Yeah,
you go.
it's in.
So
Neutral.
you weren't all the way in. It was lugging again. So then you pushed in
Oh.
further. See the clutch is either in or out,
Okay.
right? So when I say clutch in, having it halfway in, that's not going to work.
Okay.
Let's try that one more time. Your brake and throttle, you're going to be a little bit.
See, you see it? Okay, so I can step on throttle now?
Yeah. I want you to get on the throttle while you're letting go of the clutch. You're still waiting too long.
I'm scared if I get on it too fast or something. I feel like I'm going to stall or something.
No, it's actually going to prevent you from stalling.
Really?
Yeah, stalling is generally when you... Remember when I told you the guys that will over-rev
Yeah,
the car to
yeah.
not stall? That's them giving it more throttle than they need.
Okay, it's still kind of confusing to me.
Let's flip a U.
Oh.
Clutch in.
Clutch in. Brake.
Brake. Neutral.
Neutral.
There you go.
Out.
Good job. We're going to do that one more time. But now I want to give you a little bit more throttle as you're getting started.
Okay. But then when I let go of the clutch, right? Do I have to wait for the car to move first before I step on throttle?
You're doing both at the same time.
Really?
So what we've been doing right now is finding that bite point.
Yeah.
Where the car starts moving, where the clutch starts biting.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you also want to be adding a little bit of throttle and then letting go of the clutch more.
Okay.
So
I'm going to comment that this kind of video, like when they're taking their time like this, it feels kind of meditative. So that's why I'm not talking that much, which you probably like. I don't need to talk every single time. I don't need to yap your ear off. But this, so what Jubal is doing with his girlfriend, this is actually much more typical of an experience teaching somebody to drive stick. I'm going to say that.
That's the one time you feather the clutch, right? But generally speaking, what confuses people is that the brake and the throttle, you never really go all the way hard on the brake and all the way off, and then all the way on the throttle and all the way off. That would be a very choppy ride. But with the clutch, you're generally all the way in or all the way out, and the only time you're feathering it like that is really when you're getting started from a stop. So that's why earlier when I said, hey, let's bring it to a stop, and it started lugging even though you were kind of on the clutch, you weren't all the way in.
Okay.
Because the clutch pedal is generally all the way in or all the way out.
I see.
Okay. Questions?
No. Ready?
Let's do it.
I'll just have to practice. All the way in.
Give it a little bit of gas. Let go of the clutch. Yeah.
Ah! Okay, what happened there?
I think what happened is that you let go of the clutch a little bit too fast. All of a sudden, we're sort of moving, you're like, and you just
See, that's
dropped
what I was
it.
scared of.
Let's try it again.
Okay. I think I need to. Okay, let me just feel it. Okay.
Give it some gas. Give it some gas. There you go. Let go a little bit more.
Ah.
Better. Much better. Let's
Okay.
get up to second.
Huh?
Let's give it some gas. Watch out for the speed bump. Pick up some speed. Let go of the throttle. Clutch in. Shift in a second. Clutch out. Get back on the throttle.
Nice.
Boom. We got a car coming up, so let's
Oh,
get
shoot.
toward the right-hand side, and let's bring it to a controlled stop, and reset. Let's reset.
Reset. Brake. Neutral. Off.
There you go. Let's wait for this car. Okay, so to get you, I think this part, you already understand it. It's now just a matter of making it smoother. What we should work on next is how can we downshift rev match, okay?
Okay.
So let's get up to third.
Cool.
So we're gonna have to carry a little bit more speed. So let's get going.
So maybe he's good at doing this, and I guess we'll see, but I typically don't teach people. If I'm teaching somebody to drive manual for the first time, I don't do downshifting, rev matching on the first lesson. That's something you can kind of pick up after you've mastered everything else, because you don't need downshifting and rev matching to actually drive the manual these days. You just, if you're slowing down, throw it in neutral, put your foot on the brake, gradually slow down. Then depending on, whether you come to a complete stop or you need to accelerate again, you'll know what gear you need to throw it back into. But I mean, that's he's throwing his girlfriend into the fire if he's going to teach her downshifting and rev matching now, like when she's barely got first gear down. But oh well, I've been proven wrong before.
Okay.
Clutch in first. Put off the brake. As you slowly go the clutch, give it a bit of throttle. Give it some throttle. Good. Keep letting go of the clutch. Better.
Yay.
Much better.
Okay.
Let's get some speed. Give it a second. Off throttle. Clutch in. Hold a second. Off clutch. Good.
I need to go faster.
There's some cars here, so let's just keep the speed for a bit.
Okay. How do
And
I
as we pass these cars, I want you to shift into third.
around the bump?
Yep. So now, clutch in. Off throttle, clutch in, up to third, clutch out.
Ooh.
Good, now you're in third.
Okay.
All right, now,
Yes.
let's actually first bring it to a stop. Stop here, controlled stop, clutch in, neutral, brake. Let's go to neutral. You can go to neutral even before you stop.
Oh.
So, that was good. Now in third, I'm gonna put my parking brake on.
Can I go now?
You wanna go? So, this is the one time where you want to be on the clutch and jab the throttle. It's called the rev match.
Clutch and jab the throttle.
So what you're gonna do is go like this with the throttle. Give it a blip.
The complications of the instructions and the timing of this is what throws people off. And it's why you really have to master everything else about driving a manual first. And if somebody wants to learn it the first day, I let them try, but they're lucky if they get it right 1 out of every 10 times. I'm just going to say that.
Just like that.
Like that's
So when
enough?
you go, you may have to go a little bit harder from third to second. Each gear has its own ratio.
Oh.
So when we go to third, well, first of all, let's say congratulations, because now you know how to drive stick shift. You can get started from a stop. That's the hardest part. This part is not necessary to
Yeah.
actually drive and get around town. A lot of people will just slowly let go of the clutch. It's not as smooth. It's not a good habit. Rev matching is effortless once you learn how to do it. So it's just a brief jab of the throttle. And as you do that, rather than going from first to second or second to third, it's the same exact movement where you clutch in, you move the gear shift. The only difference is while you're doing that and while your clutch is in, you just blip the throttle.
So when you blip it, that's when you downshift?
Yes.
So what happens if you blip it and then you downshift after? Does it stall?
No, it'll just be a little bit rough.
Oh.
But essentially you're trying to do all the things at the same time, which is you're clutching in, pulling this, and blipping at the same time. So you don't want to abruptly let go of the clutch as you did, starting from a stop. That's how you get that really
Luggy.
rough. Yeah, it lugs, it's rough, it's not comfortable. Bad for you, bad for the car.
Alright. So what do you want me to do now?
Let's get into second.
Second.
Off throttle, clutch in, hold
Out,
second, clutch
throttle.
out, back on throttle. Good job.
Thanks, babe.
Let's go to third, same thing. Good job. Go around the speed bump. And now we're gonna downshift to second.
So clutch and blip, right?
Yep.
I'm just nervous.
It's okay.
This way.
Yep. Clutch.
Clutch. Blip in the same time?
Yep.
Ah!
Let go of clutch.
Is that second gear?
Yeah, there you go.
That's second gear?
That's it. You just rev matched.
Wait, what's a rev match?
you the little blip. That's a rev match. You're just
Oh.
matching the revs of the next lower gear.
Good job.
Good job. Great job.
Okay.
All right. I mean, that's about it.
She
So
got
now, at this
lucky.
point, all you have to do is just keep practicing these techniques. But now you would be able to get around town in a safe manner. You know what to do if you happen to stall. Not a big deal. Let's bring it to control stop and reset.
So now I can take your car out when you're not here.
Oh boy, I don't know about that. I value our lives and I value my car.
So I think you should start leaving your key here.
All right. And there you have it, my friends. So good job. You now learned how to drive stick shift. And anything after this is just icing on the cake. I just want you to keep practicing this, try to get smoother.
Yeah. That was
And you have your little cheat sheet if you ever forget anything.
a little stressful. I think the hardest part is I think out of everything the hardest part was downshifting.
Well, that will become a lot easier with time.
Yeah.
Wow, how did you do that so fast?
Every did an awesome job. And everything you did was
Oh, now he's gonna
it's gonna be
show
a
off,
matter
I
of
guess.
making things smoother with time. So
Wow, how did you do that so fast?
every car is going to have its own its own way of telling you how it wants to be driven. So some cars want quicker shifts or slower shifts, more throttle or less.
Look, I've been driving manual transmission vehicles for over 20 years now, and yeah, it's just something that's like it's like learning to walk. I mean, or it's just controlling your hands and feet. It's so effortless once you've done it for a long time and you get used to it. So
less throttle. And that just comes with time and experience and intentionally trying to be a better
Mhm,
driver. I remember when I was a
mhm.
kid in high school, the families would carpool, and I remember one of my friend's dads, he would drive this manual Nissan Maxima. So that's a little double clutch there. That's not a necessary technique, but sometimes it helps you get into from third to second. If you guys want to see that, again, go to that full video on how to double clutch downshift. But this dad who was driving this Nissan Maxima, every time he started from a stop, every single time without fail, he would lug the engine. And it would be like, actually, there's like a bad habit that, see like that? Yeah. That's lugging every single time. And I didn't know how to drive yet because I was, 13, 14 years old. But, you could do that, and there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. It's not good for the engine, et cetera, but I don't want to say like that's, how dare he, and that's a terrible thing to do. Not quite, it's just not optimal. And I think one of the most fun parts of driving stick is trying to be better and better each and every day, because it took me years to get super smooth with things like heel toe and double clutch, and I mean, these are techniques that also are not absolutely necessary, but I think, first of all, it makes you a better driver. It helps you become more one with the car, and regardless of which car you then find yourself driving, if it has failing synchros or it doesn't even have synchros because it's just an old vehicle, then you're not out of place. You know what to do.
You know what, babe?
What's up?
So you're driving, and now I appreciate your driving more.
You appreciate the driving more now? Yeah, because it's about being smooth, right? Yeah, so it's about the pursuit of mastery, and that's the fun part. When you actually try to get better and better each day and you see your skills improve. One thing we didn't cover today that we can work on next time is actually starting on an incline to make sure the car doesn't roll.
Okay, I'm not going to make fun of them for having the seat warmers on, because if they're where I think they are, I can kind of understand them being a little bit cool or chilly, because it looks like they're in the Bay Area somewhere in Northern California. When I think of California, I always think of Southern California, because I have friends and family in Los Angeles, so.
Too far back, and that's about just getting quicker with getting off the clutch and on the throttle and finding that bite point quickly and precisely, so the car only moves back an inch or two rather than rolling back multiple feet and gaining speed, right? Like when I was first driving stick in the hills of, let's say, San Francisco, where it's very steep, that can be kind of scary, right? So you want to practice that before you're in that situation, so that if you find yourself needing to start on an incline, you're not worried about hitting the car behind you. So now if I'm in fourth and I want to get to third, what do?
Clutch and blip.
There we go. Seamless. You can't even feel that, right?
Yeah.
So over time, you want to get a little bit smoother, a little bit quicker, a little bit better. And now here, that was just a heel toe. I went down to second. And now I don't want to stall. I clutch in, go to neutral, and there's no lugging, right? So you try to make everything just as seamless as possible. And you can do that too, but it's going to take you time. I didn't get there after just one afternoon of learning to drive stick shift, right?
I don't know, maybe you did. You're really good.
No, it takes time. And every car is slightly different. Driving an Audi R8 with a super light flywheel, the revs drop like that, you want to shift even quicker. This car has a slightly sluggish throttle response, so I need to blip the throttle a little bit harder when I'm going from third right now to second. With that double clutch, I had to flip it a bit harder.
You know, he mentioned the weight of the flywheel as being a factor in downshifting it. That is true. Yeah, I didn't think about that because it's been so long since I've driven an ND1 Miata, which has it only has 155 horsepower. The engine's a little bit different than the ND2 and the ND3 Miata, but the ND2 Miata, they put in a dual mass flywheel, and I'm wondering if that's going to make that does make a difference with the shifting. I'd have to drive them back to back to see, though. That's something I'm curious about now.
But you should get to the point where you can just shift between gears seamlessly and you don't have to think about it. Just a comfortable automatic movement, and the little bit of effort, that little bit of fun, and that pursuit of mastery is just trying to get smoother and better each time. So anyway, good job. I'm proud of you. You did an awesome job today. And to the viewers watching, it's not going to come in just one day. Give it time. Pursue mastery. It's going to be more fun. You'll be a better, smoother driver. Hey, thanks for being a great student. You did great. See that heel toe? I ever so slightly underblipped. So you're never really gonna get perfection, but you just want to pursue perfection. You watch professional car reviewers who do it, you know, as their main profession. Even them, you watch closely, they're not perfectly matching every rev match, every heel toe, because each car is slightly different, right? But over time, you just get better and better and better. And you know, like when I was driving my Scion FRS for 9 years, after year 3 or so, yes, everything was just about perfect because I had so much experience and I wasn't driving other cars. See, right now we're on an incline.
Yeah.
It rolled back a little bit, but I got on the clutch, on the throttle quick. can you feel? It's not. This is something that you can do. Just give it time. It's not a challenging thing. Can you feel the gear shifts?
Yes.
You can. Okay. Well, hopefully you can't. So hopefully you want to be a smooth enough driver between each of these gear shifts. Like I, as the driver, like you can't really feel the shift because you're being smooth with it. But if I do a jerky shift, like let me go here. I'm not going to rev match. You see how the whole thing kind of bucks? That's from not rev matching, and that's not good for your car. That's not good for the driving experience or for your passenger either. I now downshift. I'm going to try to do it smoother so that me and the passenger can't feel it. And same with the upshifts, right? And now we heel toe, we have to stop. We're going to get on the brakes. But now to be in the right gear, in case we need to accelerate, like what if it turned green right now? I'd want to be in gear, right? Don't worry, it comes with time. It seems confusing, but when you get the hang of it, super simple. All right, my friends, much love. See you all.
All right, that's gonna do it for now. I hope you enjoyed watching these reacts. I guess I don't know if I'd call it that, but yeah, if you learned anything about driving a manual from these lessons and had some fun watching people succeed, fail, whatever, then great. I might do more of these types of videos. I'm gonna try and get at least one more stream or one more short done this weekend. No promises, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna try. But until next time, thanks for joining. Like, subscribe, and I will see you all later.